So today is the Sunday of Memorial Weekend. My fiance and I had friends over this weekend and they left this morning. I have nothing going on the rest of the day and I thought I could do a realistic what I read in a week, just mood reading and seeing how much I can get done as a girl with a 9-to-5, because clearly YouTube is not my full-time job. So that does make it hard sometimes to read as much as I'd like to, but I'm gonna try to read as much as I can this week. I also, for the past couple weeks, Luna and Piper, cut it out. For the past couple weeks and honestly months, I've had like a lot of social stuff going on. Many nights of the week and weekends have been just booked. So this week I don't have a ton going on, so I want to read as much as I can. I want to do some cozy hobbies. I have a million like cozy hobbies and a great fear that I don't have enough time to do them. So I want to do as many hobbies as I can. I want to read as many books as I can, which again, as somebody with a 9-to-5, I'm like, if I get one book done a week, I'll be happy. So we'll see how much I can get done when I'm really like trying to focus on doing all of the things I enjoy. So if you watched the readathon, my one and only video on this channel, I started out reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson and I did not get very far, and I still am not very far in this. It's been a couple of weeks since the readathon, and like I said, I've been super busy, so I just have not gotten a lot more done here. But I am on page 389 out of I think like 530. And I did such a terrible job in that video. I think I was just tired the whole time and that was my first video, so I didn't explain my books very well. So Mistborn is a fantasy and magic system is very interesting. So the characters will essentially ingest different types of metal, and each metal does a different thing when they burn it or use it. They can essentially manipulate people's emotions to try to get them to do certain things or feel certain ways. They can also push or pull on metal to move themselves. So if they push on metal, they'll fly up in the air, for example. In some ways, like they can do superhuman things or they can get superhuman strength, that kind of thing. And it's actually really interesting and incredibly well thought out and well explained. I think part of the reason this book is taking me so long is because there's no info dumping at the beginning where they explain how the entire world works and that's it. You really learn along with the main character, Vin, because she starts out not knowing that she's an allomancer, which is what they call the people who can use metal in that way. So she's just finding out that she can do this. So you learn along with her. A lot of fantasies, especially recently, that have come out and that I've read, I feel like the female main character finds out that they are a fae or have some magical ability, and within 2 chapters they're the strongest in the land and they can do the most and they're the most powerful and they're always on the right side of things. So I like that you learn along with this character. She started out in a thieving band because her brother was essentially her caretaker, and that's what he raised her up in, is being in these different thieving bands and moving around. So she didn't really ever have a thought of like rebelling. She's just trying to live day to day, and she gets caught up with this band of people who are trying to rebel against the forces in power in this book. And she doesn't really know like where she stands on that. Like for the most part, she knows like, yeah, I don't really agree with how the lower class is treated. They're essentially slaves, but she's like, I don't know, she just questions it like, well, maybe this is the best way for things to be. I'm not really sure, and I'm not really sure if I trust the people I'm with and if I should have a reason to trust them. The way these people are trying to rebel, I honestly cannot see how they're going to be successful in the end. The Lord Ruler, which is the person in charge of everything, is essentially set up as like the hand of God. So it's like, how could you possibly fight that? And so I'm really interested to get into this one and finish it first of all and see how they succeed or don't succeed in their mission. If you don't know, this is part of a trilogy, but there's like a wider universe called the Cosmere, which I have no idea how many books is in that actually, but I think that it's a lot, which is kind of worrisome because I really like this and I am definitely going to read the next books, but this is taking me so long that I fear if I continue on at this pace, it's going to take me the rest of the year to just read 2 more books in this series. So I'm definitely going to have to space them out, but I'm going to get into this. I'm going to try to finish it. Probably not today because, like I said, slow reading, lots of pages left. So we'll see. I've also got my oolong tea here and it's so good. I literally looked up what tea they serve at Chinese restaurants and because I'm obsessed with it, and I bought it and it's delicious. So that's what we got here. We're getting crumbs of a romance in here. They've not been romantically involved in any way. They just clearly like each other. And it's so cute. Like, I don't like, that's not true. I'm such a huge fan of a super subtle romance in any book really, but fantasy especially. I eat the crumbs up. And I am. Like, he literally just said, he's talking about how one of the other guys that he's with, his hair looks nice. And he says, maybe I should pay a little more attention to things like that. Violet suffers my hair the way it is, but would she like it better if I had it styled? That is quite literally nothing. It's the bare minimum. It's hardly a crumb at all. And you saw how I acted. So I woke up at 4:40 a.m. this morning, completely unintentionally, because I had a song on loop in my head and it just would not stop. I tried to just wait it out and go back to sleep until I think 5:20, and finally just gave up and got up. So now I'm trying to get done as much as I can before I inevitably have to take a nap today. So I think I woke up, made a little tea, did a little Bible study. It's actually really nice to have that peaceful time in the morning while it was still dark out. Now the sun is up and I want to get my run in before I have no motivation to. I'm not super excited to run right now, but I know it's gonna feel really good when I'm actually out there running. So I'm gonna do that. Might look like the same exact setup as yesterday, which it is, but it's now Monday. I just got back from my run. I folded some laundry, I took a shower, and now I am about to read more of Mistborn. Also exhausted, but I have no desire to take a nap. It doesn't feel right when the sun is out to be asleep, so I will be cracking into a good old yerba mate. This is my new choice energy drink. Everything else that I've tried honestly makes me feel unwell. If you've had an Arizona tea, it kind of tastes like a slightly chilled out version of that. Yeah. This is like a stretch, but I'm hoping to finish this book today. I have 100 pages left. It's finally moving at a faster pace. Things are happening like back to back to back now, so I think that I'll be able to read it a lot faster, hopefully get it done today, and move on to something new. Something I'm liking about this is throughout this entire book, almost none of the characters, this is like a very big group of people who are trying to start essentially a rebellion, and almost none of them have been confident that they are going to succeed, and actually most of them think that they are going to fail, but they are willing to go through with it to push the rebellion on in any way that they can. They're going to be satisfied with any sort of progress they can make for their people. So I just think it makes the book a lot more interesting, because I'm like, I don't know, they might, this might turn out really badly for them in the end. I actually don't know. And I appreciate that, because I feel like most fantasy, like even if there's something that I anticipate to go wrong in the story, I know that in the end it's gonna be all okay. So I'm very interested to see where this goes, and I'm enjoying the like actually being on the edge of my seat. Like, are they gonna make it out of this? At this point, I honestly don't expect any character deaths from our like main group, but we'll see if that holds up. Also, I'm really liking each individual character. This is obviously not like a literary fiction or anything like that, so the characters aren't, we don't delve incredibly deeply into any one of the characters, but they are all fleshed out and have their own individual qualities, which I really appreciate. They're not just like carbon copies of each other with their one specific power or something like that. They all are very clearly their own individual people. And then like the three main characters, I just love, they are like, their characters are very realistic to a person, a real person. Something actually insane just happened in this book. I have about 50 pages left. Crazy things are happening. I just got ready though. I'm gonna go to my friend's pool and hang out because it's sunny. It's not super warm, but it's sunny and the UV is high, and I will take that. So I'm gonna go hopefully finish this there or get close, but things are moving. That's all for now. Ooh, hello. Hey guys. I just got off work. I think it's about 5 p.m. now, and I usually read on my lunch, but I forgot we had a team lunch today, so I got 0 reading done. Last night, I got to page 515, so I have 20 pages left, so I literally have been waiting all day to get home and finish this. My jaw literally was on the floor several times yesterday, so I'm ready to get into this. Did not even change out of my jeans because I'm that excited. I finally did it. I finished Mistborn after, I think this took me at least a month and a half to read, which is a long time. Wow, what a journey. I think I'm gonna settle on a 4.5 for Mistborn. This book was so good. Obviously it was slow. It took me so long to read. It picked up a lot at the end though, and it was slow, but it was worth it. I just wish I had known that it was slow going into it so I could kind of anticipate that. But while it was slow, I was never bored. It always had me waiting for the next thing to happen. I was always intrigued, and honestly learning the whole time about this world that Brandon Sanderson has created. I think he did a really good job of incorporating that learning throughout the entire book. There was never a point where I felt like I was being info dumped on. I feel like there's a lot of fantasy books where they say this is how the world is and you kind of just have to go with it. This felt almost scientific. Like every time that a new aspect of this world or of this magic system was introduced, I wholeheartedly believed it. It made sense that that was something that was able to happen. I never questioned, like, it never made me like cock my head at it at all, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain that any better. But yeah, the breadth of this like world that he's created, and I know that this is just one of a lot of books, but this already feels like the caliber of like the later on Harry Potter books where they're less middle grade YA, closer to the adult range, and there's just so much depth to the world and to what's going on. So I'm super excited to continue with this series. Now I definitely want sort of a palate cleanser book, something that's not going to take me super long to read, because I need the motivation of just starting a book and finishing it soon after. So I'm gonna think about what to read next, and I'll probably start it later on tonight. Also, I didn't mention, because I worked today. At work, I have been listening to Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I started on at 54% yesterday and ended at 64% yesterday. I'll have to see where I ended with that, but I've been listening to that book. If you're watching my channel, you probably watch other booktubers, and I can only assume that you know what Book Lovers is. This is a reread for me. I like to listen to like romance for the most part, or rereads when I am at work, because I don't need to put as much brain power into it. Right now it's about in par with all the other M-Hens. This book is my favorite for banter. I love the banter between the main characters. I'm eating it up, and everyone says this book was essentially written for older sisters, but I am appreciating that aspect, like the sisterly relationship, a lot more this round of reading. So I'm enjoying that, but it's kind of just a palate cleanser audiobook. So Cole's bringing home stuff to make salmon and broccoli, so we're gonna do dinner. I just literally today remembered that I have starter for sourdough that I have not used. I think it started to go bad, so I looked up today how to revive it. So I'm gonna try to do that, hopefully. And we'll see what else we get into tonight. But right now I'm probably gonna pick my next read, so let's see what we got.
I have to watch the finale of You tonight.
Yeah.
Indy, ice cream. Wait. Baby.
What?
Jeez.
It was yummy.
You pounded that thing this weekend.
What about it?
Nothing about it. I asked about butter.
What you saying?
It must be the butter.
The butter.
The butter killed him.
Take out the ills. It's like 7:30, just ate dinner. It was freaking delicious. I have forgotten about this sourdough starter that my coworker gave me for so long. It actually does not look that bad, but I looked it up, and I guess if you forget about it in your fridge, it should still be alive, but it might smell disgusting and have a like black coating on it called hooch. So we'll see. This is my first time ever doing anything with sourdough starter, and I just got it and didn't have time, or didn't make time to do anything with it. So let's see, I'm kind of scared. Yeah, it smells bitter. It's not as, it doesn't look good. It's not as bad as the pictures that were online were. She said you could, well, the blog lady said you could mix it in if it wasn't like too bad, but I don't know if I should do that or not. This little jar to put it in. I just need to clean it. Quite literally the only reason I didn't make time for this is because I didn't want to have to wash this. This is a whole process and I didn't do it because I didn't want to wash the jar. So I don't know what to say about that. I'm gonna just stir what's left in here and put it in my new jar. I bought this food scale specifically for this as well. Okay. I haven't used it yet. Clearly, she works. Okay. Ooh, close. Okay, 98. Yikes. Oh no. Oh. Brother. Okay, I'm gonna pour this in. Sorry, bad etiquette. 101, I'm good with that. Okay. Clean. Now we mix. And you're supposed to do this twice, I guess, to revive it. Okay, I'm gonna set it over here. Do you guys want to know how I filmed that clip? Be so for real right now. You guys are in my closet right now. I'm so tired, but I am gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna sit on the stationary bike and I'm going to start to edit this video. And that's it. Just so because I sat at my desk all day. I stood a little bit to cook and whatnot, but I didn't need to move or I'm gonna feel terrible. So anytime I'm trying to convince myself to go to the gym when I really don't want to, I let myself wear the ugliest clothes, the most comfortable clothes. I'm not putting on leggings. I'm not putting on a tight shirt. Guess we'll wear these. So I'm just wearing big sweatpants and I'm gonna find the biggest t-shirt in my closet right now. And that is my reward for going, is wearing cozy clothes. I'm gonna look like a watermelon. This is the point. You wear what's cozy, you don't try to look cute, you just go. That's my motivation. And look at this sweet meal. It's Wednesday. I'm working from home today, so that means before I start work and if I have like a spare second here and there, instead of yapping to coworkers, I can do things around the house. So my sourdough starter it started here, I think, yesterday. So it's gotten quite a bit better. It's been about 12 hours, and the website that I was looking at said to do that whole process of feeding it again with the same amounts and everything. So I'm going to try that. can see my screen. Everybody outside the car can see my screen through the windshield. Oh. Nobody look at me. I have to erase myself. I'm at a red light. Oh, wait, I can turn. So I got off work. I immediately went to the grocery store and got stuff. The cats needed food. We needed stuff for dinner. And if I didn't go the second I got off work, I was never going to go. So I went and did that. I came back home. Cole got home, so we watched a couple episodes of The Office. We're actually watching it for the first time right now, which might be crazy to some of y'all. But I tried to watch it in high school and just was not vibing. I was not liking it back then. But now that I work in an office, I get it. But I read a little bit after that. Now I'm going to lift at the gym. Even though I'm not super duper in the mood to do it, I am more in the mood than yesterday, so I'm gonna try to do as much in the gym as I can, and when I get bored, I'm going home. As somebody who's worked out for a long time, I honestly think like what works for me to keep coming back to the gym is to only be there when I want to be there, because I don't want to get burnt out. I don't want to force myself to do stuff I don't want to do, because I know at the end of the day, I'm getting a workout in. I'm not competing. I don't have insane physique goals or anything like that. I just want to go to feel good and to move my body and to stay healthy. So if I go and I have 4 sets of 3 exercises and I only want to do 3 sets of 2 exercises, that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to leave. And then tomorrow I won't feel too burnt out or too sore to go to the gym again. And not that you shouldn't like work to be sore if you want to do that, and I have and do a lot of times, but all I'm trying to say is don't overwork yourself if you're not having a good time, because at this point in my life I want to be enjoying my workouts. So that's what I have to say on that. I don't know why I went on a rant there. Oh yeah, after this I'm gonna go to the library and I'm gonna print out stuff for my journal, because I'm super behind on my book/bullet junk journal. I don't know, it's really a combo of all of the things. So I'm gonna go print off things I need for that, the library, and then I'm gonna go home and do some of my journal. So yeah, I will perhaps record some in the gym if there's like not a single soul in sight, but if there is, I'm sorry, you probably won't see me till later, but we'll see. I'm on episode 5 of season 1. I've been putting this off for so long. I was super consistent with it last year, and I don't know, something this year just not hitting. I did my 2025 like intro spread. I did my goals. This is the books of the Bible, and I was gonna color them in as I read them. I haven't done that yet. This is my bookshelf for the year that I'm like coloring in as I go and like writing the titles of the books that I read, and then it's gonna be color coded just like I've done for a few years now. So I do these spreads by genre, so each genre will have a different color. Yeah. Then I have 25 books I want to read in 2025. I have reading goals. I have the format of books I've read, so audio, Kindle, or physical. I have books bought, which I'm doing this spread today. I have my physical to be read, and I'm just checking them off as I read them this year. So this is books I started off the year within my physical TBR, and if I buy books and don't read them, they'll go on it for next year. Then I have some journal spreads, and the last thing I did was my February like look ahead. So I'll do what I'm like listening to, reading, watching, drinking, eating, hobbies that I'm focusing on, stuff like that. And then nothing. So I need to do my wrap up for literally February, March, April, and almost May now. and then a June look ahead. That's it, that's all. That's gonna take me hours. Oh yeah, I did go to the library and I printed off pictures I want to include, and then these are all the books I've like bought or acquired so far this year. So I'm gonna put those on that spread I just showed you. This is a little bit, like I said, junk journaly too. So like Kenna and I bought erasers that we used to collect when we were kids. So I kept little tabs from that. This was from the Sunrise on the Reaping. I went to a midnight release party and they gave this tattoo, but I'll probably just like tape it in. I got this little sticker from an art show I went to with Cole, and just little like random stuff I've kept. So we'll see like where I can incorporate that. Guys, I don't know if you can see this, but I made this cake for my parents' birthday, and I'm pretty proud of it. Hey y'all! I don't know how this clip's gonna be, but you're a little close. I'm trying to be less conspicuous, so I've adhered you to my steering wheel instead of the dash. But I got off of work and I sprinted across town because today I'm doing a hip hop class. I just keep seeing people dancing on Instagram and stuff, and I want to do it. It looks fun. I danced for a really long time, but I never took hip hop. I think I took quite literally one like 45-minute hip hop class in my whole life. I did like ballet, jazz, tap clog. So I'm probably gonna suck, and that's okay, but I just keep seeing these people do these fun looking dances. I want to do them too. I did actually get here just a little bit early, so I'm gonna read for a few minutes while I have the time. I decided on Definitely Better Now. I don't think I updated on this yet. I'm only 65 pages in so far, and honestly there's not too much to say about it yet. This is definitely gonna be, I think, character driven a lot more so than plot driven, which I enjoy. And the pacing is really fast, even though like not a ton is happening, but it's just an easy read. Like I'm moving through the pages pretty easily and quickly. So this is about a woman who grew up and her dad was alcoholic. She grew up and her dad was an alcoholic, and that was like a big part of her and her mom's life, and ended up causing her parents to get divorced, and she's like semi-estranged from her dad at this point. And she actually, from the time I think she was 14, got into drugs and alcohol with one of her friends. And this story starts the day before she's about to be a year sober. So it's kind of her so far just trying to navigate life after becoming sober. The first year of being in an AA program, which is what she's doing, it's very strict. There's a lot of rules. And so she kind of has to now figure out a balance between going out and living her life and making connections with people, true genuine connections, and not being scared to say that she was an alcoholic, because she kind of she kind of compartmentalizes her life. So again, there's no like super big plot that's driving the story yet. It's just kind of us finding out where she's at and I guess what kind of growth there is for her to come. Definitely in regard to her relationship with people. She has friends at work that she's never really crossed the line from work friend to actual friendship, because she is scared of them judging her or just seeing her as an alcoholic, even though she's clean now. We'll see where this one goes. I'm gonna read for a little bit, not too long, and then I'm gonna go, hopefully not embarrass myself, but if I do, that's okay. Because I do have a friend that is maybe meeting me. She has to drive like an hour from where she's working today. So we'll see if she makes it on time. I hope she does. But if not, nobody here is gonna know me. And so if I suck and embarrass myself, it's good for the plot. Y'all. We get in the class. She says, make a circle. And I'm gonna pick one person to go out in the middle and start us off. Just do a little 4 count or something, and then they'll pick somebody and it'll just keep going around. Traumatizing. And I got picked, so I went out there and I did something, but after that it got better. But that was traumatizing straight from the start. I was like about to walk out, actually. I was a little bit scared, but I persevered. I got through that, and then we did a little combo. And it was actually really, really fun. Was I good? No, I was not good. Just use this as your sign to step outside your comfort zone, be comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's fun. And I had a lot of fun. I might go back sometime. I'll probably pick some other classes in between, like stuff that I've done before, but that was fun. It was fun, okay? I had a good time. I was dripping sweat, but yeah. It's Friday. Cole and I got off work today. We went to lay down for 15 minutes, fell asleep for 2 hours. I don't know what happened. We were gonna work out, read, do all the things. It's now like past 10 p.m. So I need to trim my hair. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's getting it very, very long. I wanted to cut it like a little while ago. I was just getting that itch. I'm getting married this year, so I want it to be long for the wedding. So for now, I'm just gonna keep trimming it and keep it healthy. And I have cut my own hair for a long time now because I just can't justify spending like 50 bucks for someone to trim my hair. And I feel like when it's this long, you can't tell if it's bad anyways. So here's the method. I literally just parted my hair kind of like normal, bring it all to the front, and then Brad Mundo, turn away. I look down, and then I just cut all the bottom at the same length. I'm gonna take off like an inch. As you get to the front, it'll be a little bit more than an inch. Because you've been leaning forward, so then when you look back up, you kind of have layers. And the actual front pieces, oops, I just brush straight down. This is probably terrible. I literally just start. So now you just kind of line up, you kind of brush it to the middle, line it up, And I'm gonna take it from there. And if it's bad, then it'll grow back. That's all there is to it. I mean, that's what I want, is like the swoopy. And that's what I got. So I don't think I mentioned this, but tomorrow's Cole's birthday, so we're gonna just probably hang out tonight, and then tomorrow we've got lots of fun things to do to celebrate. So that's what I have for you for this Friday. I didn't read very much today or do anything else, but some days gonna be like that. I think it's time. I fed the starter last night and it's bubbly. Here's the thing, I didn't realize that discarding some sourdough was not just a suggestion, and it's actually important for like the acidity. And I'm gonna have to discard anyway, so I kind of just want to see where we're at if I use it. So I'm gonna try. Like I said, we have a lot going on today, so I want to just get this like first little proof out of the way so I can finish it hopefully later today. What does it mean to combine? Is this just another way to say stir? Because they use stir. So what's the difference? I don't know, but I'm not gonna do too much. I use a lot of flour with this whole process. There's 1, 2, 3. It says stir in the flour. So I'm gonna do this motion. I don't have sea salt, so this gonna have to do. 3. It sure does smell like dough, just like the plainest. If anybody has any tips other than discarding the discard that you're supposed to do, I would definitely appreciate, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm learning from the internet, so it says don't knead or overmix. I don't know. I don't know what the stopping point is on that, so. Also, hair is down, long sleeves are on. Nobody's eating this but me, and it's probably gonna turn out bad, so I'm not too worried about there being hair in it or something. Use your hands to bring the dough together to form a ball. It's really sticky. Is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be super sticky at this point? Because it is. Hey Alexa, is my sourdough supposed to be sticky at first?
It may even still be tacky after kneading it. That's normal too, and will probably go away after your first rise.
Okay. Alexa says it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for 30 minutes. Welcome to the end of the video. Hi, it's been a few days. Cole's birthday happened Saturday. We were super busy. I think the last clip that I filmed was me prepping my sourdough for the next day. It had like 2 to 3 additional hours that it had to proof, and I at that point was not staying up any later, so I let it proof. Is that what it's called? Clearly, I've established that I don't know what I'm doing with that. So I let it proof in the fridge for those 2 to 3 hours. No. I let it proof overnight because I read that that slows up that whole process. So let it do that overnight. And then Sunday I woke up, I just had to make the bread at that point. So I woke up, put it in the oven, and then I tried it, and it was actually a lot better than I expected it to be. It was a little bit dense and a little bit chewy, but for the most part, it was actually really good. I made avocado toast on it and I gave some to Cole, and he said that it was the best avocado toast he's ever had. So a win is a win. Obviously there's some room to improve there. So I'm gonna try to refine that, just the typical sourdough recipe, and try to make that a little better and maybe do some new recipes with that. So we'll see. Again, if you have any tips. Other part of the video, what I was reading this week. I finished 2 books and got about halfway through a 3rd book, so I'll kind of go over that and how many pages I did. I already went over Mistborn in depth. I'm done talking about it. Okay, I know you're tired. Book lovers, I didn't say too much about this because I know for a fact you all know what this book is about, right? I raised my rating for this book from a 3, I think, to a 3.5, so better on the second read. It still is not my favorite Emily Henry. Like I said, I love the banter. I did appreciate the like sisterly connection. It just was fine other than that. Yeah, this was not my favorite setting from an Emily Henry. I really like the like Michigan settings, and what else is there? Oh, like Happy Place, top tier. So this one just kind of falls in the lower end of that, unfortunately. I think my ranking of Emily Henry's books from the 24-hour readathon stand, so no movement there. I haven't rated any of Emily Henry's above a 4, but they are the perfect palate cleanser, so take that as you will. I'm gonna keep reading them. I'm gonna read every book she probably ever publishes, and I'll probably reread them as well. But it's like a comfort movie that you watch over and over again, where maybe it's not the best movie ever, but like, it's comforting. You enjoy it. That's kind of how I feel about these. That's all I have to say. The next book I picked up midweek was Definitely Better Now. Before the week was over, I got to page 121, and since then I've gotten to 184, so I'm a good chunk of the way into this book. I was right that this is definitely more a character-driven book than a plot-driven book, but there are some things that have happened since the beginning when I talked to you last about it. So she kind of has sparked up some love interest at work, and she's also got some drama going on at work, and a lot of it stems from how she thinks people are going to perceive her and how people actually do start to perceive her maybe differently as she's coming out of her shell more. And again, this book is all about her navigating these situations and doing it sober and understanding what she can and cannot control from people. Like I mentioned, she is in AA, so they actually do include some like aspects of AA and what they teach people. So for example, one thing is giving up the control we think we have over the people around us. You can't control what people think of you and how they're going to react to things you do. You can only control what you're doing and how you live your life. And if you know that you're a good person, you're moving towards good goals, then that's what matters most, and people can think and say whatever they want because they're going to anyways. This also depicts really well kind of what it's like to have someone in your life that is using or drinking and being like kind of secretive about it. Like I said, she grew up with an alcoholic dad, and during this book he kind of comes back into her life and she isn't sure why that is. He says it's just to get closer to her, but she doesn't really buy it because he hasn't done that in the past however many years. And the whole time he's there, she searches out signs of him being drunk or using drugs or something of that sort. And the internal battle she has with saying something to him about it, because obviously she cares about him, she wants him to be sober and be in the moment with her, but she battles the guilt of actually saying something and being wrong. And I think she captured that like internal battle really well. I don't really know if there's like gonna be a big plot to this book other than just her navigating life and her character development through that, but I do enjoy it. It's an easy read. It honestly is it has a bigger portion of romance than I thought it would. I do like that it's kind of a romance book just with a different blueprint, because I think when you have just straight up romance, a lot of the times they follow a similar format, so it's nice to have a switch up from that. So I'm enjoying this. This is how many pages I read throughout the week of the 3 books I mentioned. I would say this is pretty average for me, but maybe on the higher end, especially because Monday was Memorial Day, so I didn't have to work. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you for now. If you liked this video, you should like the video. I also have one other YouTube video, as I mentioned, so check her out. Subscribe. Am I allowed to ask that of you now since I have 2 videos? Y'all ever annoy yourself with your speaking, or is it just me?